Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to apologize to our guest speaker for our lateness. I really apologize for keeping you and for the fact that most of our expected members are not here yet. I hope you forgive us for that. Thank you, sir. So I would like to say Ramadan Karim to all our Muslim um, fellows here, and happy Lenten season too for the Christians. Okay. So on behalf of the organizing team, which is the training committee, but as an opportunity to sharpen our skills, expand our and position ourselves strategically in a rapidly evolving industry. You see, we might feel that, okay, we've been attending series of leadership training, we've seen a lot of information on leadership, but the truth is we can never have enough of all of this knowledge. And then, the more you get to hear about it, the more you live it out, and the better you get at leading. And whether you are heading a committee, heading a team or not, we are all leaders in our own capacity. So I said, whether you are leading in a committee, whether you are heading a committee or a team or not, we are all leaders in different capacity. So I would like us to have an open heart towards this training and learn everything that we can, so that we go home better people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Also, I would like to recognize the presence of Mr. Emmanuel Adigun, is representing Honorable Ayotunde Adewuya, one of our guest speakers. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming, sir. Moving on with our agenda, we're going to be moving straight to the first session, which is accountability and responsible leader. And our anchor for this session, or our speaker for this session, will be Mr. Oluyomi Akishola. I would like to call on Mr. Oseni Abukodri to read this program.
Good morning, everyone. State Chair, the YSN Lagos Executive Members present, YSN Lagos members, and our distinguished speaker present. It's a pleasure to read the profile of one of our amazing speakers today, which is Mr. Yomi Akishola. Mr. Yomi Akishola is a dynamic leadership trainer and Chief Executive Officer of Pure Leadership Consult. He holds a BSc, Bachelor of Science, from Obafemi Awolowo University and an MSc from the University of Lagos with professional leadership training from Daystar Leadership Academy. He is a former senior manager in one of Lagos' leading cleaning companies. Mr. Yomi successfully led a workforce of over 400 staff and has served as team lead across multiple organizations. He is a passionate companion of leadership seminars and conferences committed to empowering individuals and organizations. His training expertise includes public speaking, emotional intelligence, self-leadership, and team building. Friends, guests, permit me to join me as I welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Louis.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's a privilege to be here, to be among young people. I like being among young people because where I come from, they say when young people fall, they move forward. They are hopeful of a better tomorrow. But when the elders fall, they look backward. Where have they missed it? So they think of regrets that comes with that fall, that I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here. But with young people, you have the vibrancy, the energy, the hope, the faith of a greater tomorrow. So it's a privilege to be here, and I'm not taking it for granted in any way. And thank you for the leadership of this lovely association. Whatever you're doing today will always have a positive effect tomorrow, especially when you're concerned about leading people, about building capacity when it comes to attitude, when it comes to behavioral patterns, and when it comes to interactions with people. There's nobody that is, permit me to use my mother tongue, there's nobody that is called Awaki. So for those that do not speak Yoruba here, let me translate. There's no we when it comes to an individual, so you need people around. And leadership is about people, it's about service, it's about interaction, it's about making wherever you find yourself better than you met it. That's my own maxim, and that was what led to the birth of Bear Leadership Consultants, where it's about service, you're calibrating the minds of people that leadership is not about people serving you, no, it's about you offering to give to people what you have. There's nobody that does not have talents in the world. There is nobody. I'm an African, and an average African believes in God. So even if you do not believe in the God of the Muslims, or you do not believe in the God of the Christians, you have a deity. Our local forefathers, ancestors, they had deities, and they believed. So what am I trying to say in essence is that you can't talk about a better society without talking about leadership. But again, our country is where it is because we do not have the kind of leadership we need to take us out of the doldrums of poverty, to take us out of the doldrums of backwardness. When they talk about the classification of countries, you have the developed countries, you have the underdeveloped. I have the developed. When I was in university as an undergraduate, Nigeria was classified as underdeveloped. But as of today, because of how patriotic I am, I'll tell you that Nigeria is developing because I'm very hopeful. But as a social scientist, it takes me back to statistics because you deal with stats, and statistics is not emotional. It gives you your report card, tells you exactly how you are. So are we really developing? So we begin to talk about these things. And God bless the team that have apologized as regards the timeliness. One of the things that works with me is that I keep to time. And one of the things that makes me proud was a day that my mother-in-law was supposed to go. She was retiring, and then she was reaching out to everybody. And she was telling all of them that, be fast, because I know you, he will keep to time. So she was already everybody up. Be fast. Why do I take time very seriously? The Bible will tell you that we will run a job. So, and then, if you take us back to our discussion, what I first said about appreciating youth, it's the time of your lives, of our lives. I like to feel young. Although I've crossed 40, but I like to feel young in my mind. Why? It gives me hopeful. So guy, I'm minded that there's no more that I can give. So there will be a time that what I'm doing today, I might not be able to do it on my feet. Only to come in and be myself as I am. Because of all the many years, you sit down and conduct the training. That's the mindset I have. That I intend to be useful to the day. And then today I give my last minute. So quickly, I don't know who is in charge of the slides. So I have that interpreted. And I will have to talk about accountability and responsibility. One of the things I have in mind is that there is a consensus around us, especially in Africa, that our leaders are not accountable to the people. Yes. What does it mean to be accountable? We are going to see as we go on the slides. But for me, you have got to be, there are three levels for this accountability. There is the upward trajectory for accountability. It's pointing up. There is the one that points at you as regards accountability. And there is the one that points at others when it comes to accountability. When I talk about the one that points, we are accountable to our Creator. And I can use that here because I do not believe there's an atheist in the house. But I would let you know that I believe absolutely in God. I am nobody without my Creator. So I will always tell you that I am nothing. Like Wale Adenuga production will say, we are all pencil in the hands of the Creator. So it means that whatever the Creator wishes to do with us is what He does. You know, so you are accountable up. And then the second one, which is also as important, is that you are accountable to yourself. And that's where self-leadership comes in. Although we are not talking about self-leadership as a topic or as a theme for this training. But my friends, I'd like you to know that when you talk about accountability, you are talking about self-leadership. As we go ahead through the slides, you will see it there. Accountability is about self-leadership. So, the first one, accountable upward. The second one, accountable to yourself. And the last is accountable to others. To others. When you're accountable to others, what you're doing is that you're not being selfish about what you do. I don't care about how I talk to people. You're not being accountable just to them. Although all three are intertwined, but you break it down at different times of your life, you will always take note that when you begin to talk about leadership, talk about public leadership, you are predominantly talking about being accountable to others. For instance, when I was in the student union leadership, there's what you call the student representative, like a congress. That's at that point that you have the president being accountable to the students of that school. They will ask him, a budget of so-so was released. How was he spent? When he begins to give account of how he has spent or not spent, he's being accountable to the people that has made him their leader. And you would all agree with me that Nigeria is not where she ought to be. If it's judging by the quality of people that we have, if it's judging by the numbers of mineral resources Almighty God has blessed us with, we are far behind. So quickly, let's just delve into it. So why accountability matters in surveying? Number one, we have legal responsibility. Survey data forms the legal basis for property boundaries, constructions, and land use decisions. What is this? You see, every organization, every trade is being controlled. There's a word I'm looking for, it's not coming, but let me borrow this word. Controlled by the legal apparatus. You cannot be called a surveyor if you have not met the legal requirements to be called a surveyor. If you call yourself a surveyor and you have not gone through the legal requirements, my friends, I can tell you for free that I know in medical line they call them quacks. So what would you call them in survey, in the word of surveyor? Quacks too. So who is a quack? That person can be tried, the person can be fined, and the person can be jailed. It depends on the level of crime that has been committed. If lives have been lost on account of his irresponsibility or fraudulent acts that has gone ultra-virus as regards the legal requirements. So there's a legal responsibility and there's the accuracy and safety. Precise measurements, prevent costly errors, and ensure workers and public safety on job sites. Now, one of the things we need to know is that you all know already, is that surveying is about measurements. Am I right? Basically, predominantly about measurements. If you do not measure accurately, for instance, let's use something as little, I wouldn't say little, something like the foundation of a building. You want to build a bungalow, and you want to be a skyscraper. Will the measurements of the foundation, would it be the same? Will it be the same? No, it will not be the same. And then you have a surveyor that is careless or does not know his onions or feels that he's not accountable to anybody and decides, what's the difference? So if you have had dealings with some local developers, some of them, I see some buildings and I shake my head that no, this is not right. Apparently, some of these builders, they have gone ahead to do, to give measurements that are not right. And then you see those buildings, you know that if you're not careful, these buildings will collapse. Accountability question is at stake there. Who questions such individuals that carries them out? A surveyor must have done the measurements. So next one, reputation and trust. Your professional credibility is built on consistent, reliable work that clients can depend on. When they mention your name, what comes to people's mind? Do they say that this person is going to give me a good job on account of the history of this individual? So if we begin to question your credibility, your professional credibility, I'm not going to bring a big job to such an individual. Why? Because the chances are that you're going to mess the job up. It might hide, for now. But subsequently, the truths will be made manifest. You will see it with time. So your trust, your professional credibility, if you're not consistent, there's a problem. There is a serious problem. Quickly, financial impacts. Errors can lead to project delays, reward costs, legal disputes, and insurance claims. Now, when we begin to have issues of errors in your calculations, it's going to have a ripple effect. It's not just going to be on one line. It's going to have effects at different levels. So you ask yourself that a project manager, a big company comes to you, do you think you should be given a bigger project if you cannot handle small project that has been handed over to you? So these are issues why we have to talk about accountability. All right. So let's quickly talk about understanding accountability. Taking ownership of outcomes, including mistakes, being answerable for your actions and their consequences. Some people will tell you that it's not me. Maybe someone comes to the room now. Something went wrong for a team. And then the owner of the job, the client of the job comes in. And then member of the team begins to, everybody just stepping back, including the person that was given the primary responsibility of making, of doing some of the calculations. And because he's not the team lead, he feels that he can be exonerated. No. One of the things, you remember I told you about accountability, having the top, the top response, your personal, and the public. The public now is a team that you are a part of. A leader does not always want to run away from responsibility or being accountable for the actions of his team. In fact, and that is why, when one of my, the anchor was speaking earlier, she said something about leadership, a strong organization, how important it is for them to have very strong leaders. But I will always say that a leader is supposed to be first among equals. That I'm leading, that I'm here standing, does not mean that you do not have cerebral minds opposite me looking at me. To even shock you, as I'm speaking, some people's mind can be elaborating more on what I have not thought about, despite me being the one holding the microphone. So a leader understands that you are first among equals. You are not to trample on the people that you lead. So you are accountable at that point to the extent that, look, your team has got to succeed. But you are not looking at the leader alone. You are looking at everybody. Because one of the theories of leadership is that a team is as strong as the weakest team or weakest member of its team. What does it mean? All of us might have a team of 6, and there's just one person that pulls everybody back. Take note of the emphasis on the word, everybody back. Why? Because if he does not get his job done well, the team cannot move at the pace they ought to move. So I see leadership as everybody doing his own bits very well. Not just the person, not just the arrowhead, no. Leadership is about everybody carrying out his or her own responsibility to the best of his ability. The ability might not be enough. That's a different discussion, whereby we begin to talk about such individuals trying to improve on his or her own ability or capacity to give more. No, please go back to thank you very much. Responsibility, the duties and tasks assigned to you, what you are expected to do. Many surveyors confuse these terms. You can be responsible for a task, but not accountable for one. Does anybody want to disprove that? Does anybody? I'll try as much as possible to make it please borrow me the word to use at this point. Interactive. Thank you for helping me out. You can see that me that I'm holding the mic could not salvage the situation of just saying interactive. So you see how beautiful it is for you to have cerebral minds too. Imagine one person feeling that I'm the smartest around, and then you feel that every other person that you're leading are all Dundee United. That's not a leader. That's not a leader. So we've got to understand this. The key difference is that responsibility is about doing the work. Accountability is about owning the outcome, whether good or bad. Any leader that leaves his team to hang dry, there's a mess up, and then you take the person that, you take the member of the team that messed up, you leave him out to dry, you're not a leader. Why? Because that person you felt that messed up has the chances to get better in future. Depends on how you handle that scenario at that time. So, as a surveyor, we have got to understand that responsibility and accountability, they are not the same. However, being an accountable leader is superior. It means that with time, if you mess up in a particular responsibility, but because by default you're an accountable person, you would work to it that you carry out your responsibility much better moving forward. So the fact that I've seen a surveyor that has a mindset of accountability, I would trust him more. Why? That even if that person has issues with carrying out responsibility at the best, at his best level, it means that he has room to get better because he's an accountable person. He feels that I can do better. All right, so let's quickly disprove some common myths about accountability. Number one, accountability means taking blame. Accountability is about learning, improving, not punishment. It's a growth tool, not a weapon. It's like I said in one of the statements I made just a few minutes ago, that look, if I see someone that is accountable, I will trust that person because it tells me about the mindset of that person. It gives me a peep into who you are. So this is talking about you knowing that it's not a punishment, it gives you room to grow. I run a business, and one of my best clients are those that complain. Yeah, there's one, she's always on my neck. So the other staff, I have some of my staff that they always have a mindset like, this person's wala is too much. How is this person paid? I said, you don't get it. This is the person that loves us. This is the person that actually does love us. Why? Because some will not tell you your errors. They will just stop patronizing you. They won't tell you. They might leave you to the extent that you become so big, you have become so popular, and then they just burst your bubble, and then you crash so badly that you cannot recover. But if you are someone that is by default, you have a mindset, accountability mindset, you would always say that, look, it's an opportunity for me to grow. It's not for them, it's not a punishment. I've worked with some staff. I once led a team that our staff was about over 400. And many of them, they hardly see me attend because I was reporting only to the chairman of that company. And many times, when I go to field to see some of them, I find out that some of them, many of them, most times, they are not accountable. Many of them will tell lies about the jobs that they did. We know, according to record, you're supposed to take, you're supposed to register as you work. And then some of them will falsify these records. Why? So that when something goes wrong, they will not come to pick them up. They don't understand that they're doing themselves in. I've been out of that company in a while. I've run my own business. I'm doing well. But some of them cannot run their businesses when they leave such environment. So how do they grow? Accountability helps you to grow. Second myth, only managers need to be accountable. I think by now I've made that I've said it in passing, that I do not believe that leadership is just at the top. I believe that leadership is cooperative. Leadership means that first amongst equals. Take note. Let me give you an illustration that will help you, that should resonate with you. I can see what is behind all of you looking at me. As I'm the leader, I'm standing, right? My position is elevated because of my standing posture. But guess what? If anything is coming behind me, can I see it? It is you that will help me. I said, either tell me to dodge or to run or to make an attempt to prevent the thing from happening or hurting me behind. That's exactly what makes leadership beautiful. So if you have a mindset about you being accountable, you will understand that, look, those that are you're leading are also accountable to you, accountable for you, as you are accountable for them. You get to a level that you cannot do it by yourself. The only one that can do it without you is God. The only one. So I'll use God here because I do not believe there's any atheist in the house. All right, so they don't feel offended. But funny enough, the atheists I've met in Nigeria, there's a part of them that still acknowledge God. By the time you begin to have conversations, you find out that this person still acknowledge the Almighty God. He just does not know it. So quickly, myths. Admitting mistake shows weakness. Some people think that people would look down on you, that you are a weak person. No, in fact, you are a very strong person. One of the strongest people I would ever meet are those that know how to say, I messed up and I apologize. Many in relationships, who are those that apologize the most? Oh yeah, now let us set ourselves up. It's men that apologize the most. I can see Mrs. Uriyomi looking with, if you say it again, So, is it the men or the women? Let me hear from you. Let me hear from the women. Who are those that apologize the most? So it's about thoughts now, not about actions. Okay, so let's have you. So what? Thank God you are teaching us, the men. You know, it's still the month of. It's the holy month of Ramadan and Lent. It's also the love month. So for those that have given Valentine, and for women, you people used to give. It's only you people don't used to give us. He used to give us. I was trying not to say it. I was trying not to say it so that I will be somehow say that thank God I've not stereotyped the Nigerian ladies, although I have not met foreign ladies before. I'm a Nigerian, a thoroughbred Yoruba man. So let's have you. How do you think we ought to apologize as men?
It's dependent on the kind of offense and the person you offended.
Okay.
If you offend me and you say sorry, and that's not what I'm looking for in an apology, you think you apologized, but it didn't really do anything.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like when you apologize, people think it's the sorry that matters, not really eating what caused the problem in the first place.
Okay, so we
So
trying
men
to
think
correct. Okay.
they apologize, but at the end of the day, the sorry is just sorry,
But they
without
know
really changing what happens. Because
what
next
happened.
time they'll still say sorry for that same thing.
Please let us jam hands together for that. You see, let's jam hands together for the ladies. Oh, see, let me tell you the truth. Without the ladies, our lives of women is not as beautiful and colorful. I'm telling you the truth. Yes, you could be stylish, but the women, you know, the way they are naturally colorful. So the men, can somebody tell me who apologized the most in relationships? Oh yeah, now. They already won. Please, jam your hands together for my brother. Jam your hands together for this, my friend. Okay, Mrs. Rio, let's have you.
Okay, personally, the question says who apologizes the most in relationship.
Okay.
I would say that the person that apologizes the most depends on the individual personality of people in the relationship. So
Okay.
in some relationship, it could be the men that apologizes the most.
Okay.
In some, it could be the women. So I think it's a two-way thing. It depends on the personality of the people.
That is involved. Thank you. Please, let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. Let me tell you something. It costs me nothing to say I'm sorry, me as a person. And why is it like that? Because one of the hallmark of leadership is empathy, not sympathy. Empathy. How does this person feel? It's not just about, I understand this person. No. You transpose yourself into the person's shoes and then feel how the person feels. So if you have that kind of mindset, it doesn't make you weak. So if you err with a mindset that, oh, it's a honest mistake, not an attempt to hurt. It wasn't an attempt to injure that person emotionally or in whatever guise. So we've got to understand that when you own up, admitting to your mistakes, it doesn't make you weak. In fact, it makes you strong. I made this mistake, I saw it, and then you're not trying to make yourself look good. Why? Because no man is perfect. None. The tendency for you to err is there. It's human. It's natural. But when you make that mistake, it's not for you to stay there and to want to use, like some people will use in Yoruba, Ogboju. No, you don't use that. You don't use Ogboju. No. You look at the error and make an attempt to, let's make a mistake. Let's make amends. All right, last one here. If no one notices, it doesn't matter. It matters. Oh. Do you remember I told you that there are 3 layers of accountability? The up layer, your own layer, which is the self-leadership layer, and the public layer. If the public don't know, 2 out of those 3 layers are aware. Who are the 2 that are aware? You and the one that is up. Now, if by venture that you have seared your conscience, like your conscience is like that of the stone, and you don't care, so you kill it, that other one that is up there is just watching you. Where I come from, they say, sorry, I want to use the language, you can help me translate back in English for my Yoruba scholars. When you kò sí àṣegbé, àṣepamọ́ ló wà. Please, can somebody help? My sister that, yeah. Please, what's your name? That's so hilarious. So, my sister, can you help us with the translation? Yes.
Sir, please repeat yourself.
Kò sí àṣegbé, àṣepamọ́ ló wà. It's not incantation, don't worry.
Okay, so there's nothing that you do that that's done permanently. It's only reviewed. It's only covered for a period of time. After a while, it's reviewed.
To review. There's no secret anywhere. Some people is when they die, you now see when they are burying them. You just see children that look like them. Ah, daddy. Upon that, he hid them. At the point of burial, they are bringing the ashekpamo out. So there's no secret. All right, so quickly, hidden errors compound over time. It worsens situations. So it makes sense that you discover the error and then you make an attempt to correct it. You might get some flacking. You might get some, oh, how could you do that? You know, there are some toxic bosses. I am not toxic. I don't like toxic bosses. I don't like it. I stand up against bosses that are toxic. Why? Because that you lead does not mean the other person is not human. I have a problem with it. So, but if you have such a boss and there's an error, don't because of that boss hide it, because it's going to aggravate the issue and make it worse. And I'm sure that by the time it gets worse, it spoils your credibility. It will give you an opportunity to become a top surveyor that will be known globally, nationally, as the dream is. That you are here today, look at where you could be 5, 10 years. And it's the actions or inactions of today that will tell us what the 5, 10, 20 years would look like. So if there's an error today, don't say it doesn't matter. It does. Moving forward, you will understand. So please, let's have the next slide. The cost of avoiding accountability. You see, there are real world consequences. You see, incorrect site data, building foundation, poor 2 feet of location. So you would make such issues. Missed boundary error, property line disputes discovered after home construction, legal fees, demolition. You know Lagos demolishes a lot. I'm sure it's only Lagos that demolishes the whole Nigeria. Because I've not heard other states. You know one Lagos. And it's because many people, especially, we have the effrontery to always want to break the law. That's a bad culture. So as surveyors, can we make up our minds to be different? Yes, that would have a dream. There was what you call the American dreams. And the American dream was put together in the 1930s. As of today, do you have a Nigerian dream? So if you don't have a Nigerian dream, are we going to blame those that have gone ahead of us and not built up a Nigerian dream? No. It simply means that now I'm here. What can I do in this time to build a Nigerian dream? And the Nigerian dream comes from bits and pieces of people that are visionary, that are different, that have made up their minds to change the culture. I, for one, do not believe in African time. It's personal. I don't. Why? Because time is a spectrum of life. Personally, whatever you are going to be, my 4 years, my degree is a reflection of 4 years, my first degree. My master's degree is a reflection of my 18 months. So it's the summary of what I spent the time, 18 months, putting together. My degree is a summary of 4 years of my life. So at times, when somebody tells you that, go after this course, go and do this course, today you say that, well, time's too long, I'm already too old. In the next 2 years, maybe of that duration of that course, time will still have gone. You would not have done that course, and you would not have achieved what you could have achieved if you had invested those years. I hope you understand. So basically, we have got to understand that, look, professionally, we have to always be on the top of our game. We can change the culture, especially of this country. We can change the culture. When they say, Mrs. Oriyomi, she's one handling this case. Go and sleep. She's going to give you 100% job. Why? Because over the years, people have come to trust her judgment because of the results that she has given in the process of doing her job. So, but that's a culture. She's already a leader in that. She's an influencer already in that space. So all those that want to take her as a mentor that she's mentoring, they'll look at it that I follow my leader. There's a popular church in Nigeria. By the hairstyle of their pastors, you know their church. Because they are following their mentor. I hope you understand. So that's exactly how you also become. You might not have mentees now, but believe you me, people are watching you. Some people that are ahead of you are watching you. Some people that need someone to trust, they are watching you. Who can I trust to give me 100% job? And then they look at that this person worth giving this job. And safety non-reporting, unmarked utility line struck during excavation, work injury, project shutdown, regulatory investigation. If you don't report, these issues will come up. These issues will come up. So it costs you, it's more expensive when you are not accountable than when you are accountable. It tells us about your integrity. It tells us about your integrity. It tells us about your person. Many times, people buy into you before they buy into your products and into your services. They buy into your person. Who are you? Are you an accountable person? And please, let's move to the next slide quickly. Ownership versus blame mentality. Blame mentality focuses on who caused the problem. I don't believe we should do. Yes, you can identify where the problem comes from. But pulling down and destroying that person, it's not it. Defensive and protective. Some people are defensive in nature. Why do this? And then they begin to always want to defend that. No, don't do that. I have a mindset that, look, this is our project. I believe in a leadership, and that's why I told you earlier that my style of leadership is about team, not just about the person at the top. It's about everybody. Why? One tree will not build a forest, will not make up a forest. And one person, no matter how superhuman you are, you need people. All of us need people. We are social. I don't want to use the word of Aristotle to say that social animals. No, I don't believe I'm an animal. I'm not. So, but he believes that. And why is he using social animals? Because you have to interact. So if you don't interact, how do you want to even have children safe? Because I know that some people, some women nowadays, they feel that they don't need men, so they go to the bank to get sperm for them to have children. But last, if that person did not put it there, you still would not have it. So one way or the other, you need us. So jam us together for the men. I think I want to look for some of the ladies' trouble this morning. All right, so quickly. Looks for excuses. Some people are good at giving excuses. If many times if something goes wrong with me, I'm always very conscious about, are you sure I'm not giving excuses or giving reasons? When you are giving reasons, you are trying to investigate how did this go wrong? What went wrong? But giving an excuse, is because this thing was like this, that's why I did not get it, so it's not my fault. You are abdicating responsibility. You are abdicating accountability. No, it's not right. It's not for your own good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the system where you work. Then avoid difficult conversations. This is not good. Repeat the same mistakes. That means that you have not learned from previous mistakes. If you have not learned, you can't get better. If you don't get better, you cannot go up. You can't get up to the top of your career if you do not learn from your mistakes. When you look at a mistake, you've made the mistake. Look at the things you did wrong that led to this result. So you cut it off. You cut that thing off. Oh, this was what I did. Oh, now I understand. I won't do it this way. Or better, I will do it this way. Or you look at people that have gone ahead of you and like, this is how they did theirs. And I pick up what they did. And because I saw that this is what it led to. Because surveying is science. because it deals with data, it deals with facts, it deals with figures. So if it deals with figures, we would easily put it under the purview of science, and it's not emotional. It doesn't lie. So if you don't make amends, you repeat the mistake. It's not my fault that the equipment wasn't calibrated. The fact that you are around, can we solve that problem? No. Ownership mentality focuses on solving the problem. One of the problems that we have seen in Nigeria is that we do not own Nigeria as our own. One of such instances is that I see people, there was a day I was driving behind a very lovely car. I was admiring that car. It was a double exhaust, it was an Audi, very amazing. I was just like, I didn't want to even overtake the guy. I just loved the fact. I was just looking at the way, very nice automobile. And the next thing, somebody at the back of the vehicle wound down and threw something on the road. Oh. Like Yoruba will say that, aṣọ ńlá kọ́ lèèyàn ńlá. So, mọ́tò ńlá kọ́ lèèyàn ńlá. I felt disappointed. I'm like, what? How can you bring this beautiful car and you would not even take note of the environment? That's how a lot of Nigerians are. Like, I have a theory. If I cannot make it better, I should not contribute to making it worse. I might not have the capacity to improve it, but no, I will not be a reason it got worse. And that's the mindset that we should all have. That, look, we want to solve a problem. And that is why my company, I believe that we have a leadership problem. And that's why we set up. And we go to schools to talk to people that, look, you've got to change the way you think about leadership. Leadership is not position. It's about influence. It's about service. It's about living a place better than you met it. That you are living a place that, when this person was here, if this person was here, we would have solved this problem. It's a mindset. Open and transparent. A lot of wrongdoings thrive in secrecy and opaqueness. So if people will steal, they will not steal in the open many times, except for armed robbers that they rely on the power of force, maybe guns and all. But if they don't have guns, they are not going to openly rob you, or they are not going to steal from you. So you've got to be open and transparent. It helps you seek solution. I have a mindset that, look, you've always ought to have solution-oriented. There's a problem, yes, but what's more, a problem, Tiwa. All of us know. Oh yeah, we are not going to sit on that position. 90% of Nigerians, when you speak to them, everybody knows about Nigeria's problems. Everybody. Oh yeah, come and help us solve it. There was one person that I really looked up to before he got into government. Young guy, vibrant, and all of these things. And then he knew all the solutions to Nigeria's problems in his field. He got into office. We hardly saw his impact. So it's not so for me. There's one of Barista's song. So that it talks about you're pointing one hand across. These other ones are pointing at you. So you can't say that I am the best, so the rest are nothing. No, it doesn't work like that. So we have got to take notes of these ones. Initiate tough discussions. You don't run away. The first one, avoid difficult discussions. This one, you initiate it. Because if you don't initiate it, you are not going to break it down. And when you start the discussion, you begin to break it down. You're opening everything up. And when you're opening everything up, you begin to see solutions. That's a mindset of ownership. Wherever you find yourself, please have a mindset of ownership. You are coming here not as a servant. No, you are coming here as someone that has a lot to offer. I always have a mindset that, look, there is nobody that God has not put something positive that can help his environment in. Look at the tech people, look at the photographers, the people that put up these slides and all of those things. Everybody has different responsibility. So have an ownership, and you are not useless. Like I said, you are first. The leader is first among equals. That means equals. The others are also leaders in their own rights. Why? You're a leader because you have something to give. You might think you don't have enough, but you have, even if it's one thing, you have. So give it. You learn and you improve continuously. I should have verified the calibration before starting. You can see the difference between those statements. The first one is that it's not my fault. The second one said, I should have. And then this is my plan to correct it. All right. Sorry, Temtokwe, please. I need you 1 minute, please. All right. So please, to the next slide. Aha. After this one, I would want us to have a short. All right, please. Please let me attend to this person. All right. So there is these accountable behaviors. You know, we've been delineated into two, upper and lower. The upper one is that you take ownership, you are solution focused, you are proactive. Now, this proactiveness is one of the hallmarks of a good leader. It's good that somebody, a doctor, is able to, you see a patient, you are able to treat the patient. But it's better if you are able to prevent the sickness. Leadership, a proactive leadership prevents some things. What could go wrong? Preventing them. What can I do? Learning from mistakes. Taking initiative. This brain is not dull. I might not be a fast learner. It does not mean that I am not a learner. Albeit, I will be learning at my pace and understanding, moving to the degree of my strength. There are some that attended Montessori for some kind of Montessori schools that are called Montessori. Some others, they learn through objects, seeing things around. It does not mean that those children are dull, but just know that taking initiative helps you. That, look, this is what you're good at. This is what I can do. This, I can make it better. Don't wait that they did not send me, so I'm not going to do it. No, that's not leadership. That's not leadership. Below the line, victim behaviors. You have blame, problem focused, reactive. It's not my fault, repeating mistakes, waiting for direction. Every day you choose which side of the line you operate from. Above the line builds your career, below the line limits your potential. Let me emphasize this last line a bit more. You see, when you have a mindset that this above the line behavior, what that does for you is that people that will raise your hand up, like I said earlier, they are watching and they want to give you opportunities. Some people call luck opportunity meets preparedness, right? But some people have a mindset that what they did not send me, I will not do. Some people used to call those that are always outgoing, that take initiative, they call them ITK. No, it's not ITK. No, it's not ITK. Why? Because when there's a need to get a leader from the team, who do you think they will go for? The ones that take initiative. Is a default. You are not going to go to the one that says, this call my team. No, it's that one you will call first. Because that person has shown the mentality that he or she has. That I can do this. I can make it better. I can, do my own contribution. Make my contribution to the team. So please, don't limit your potential. And one of the things that a lot of us in Africa has done to ourselves, you find some people say that, you cannot make it in Nigeria because it's all about connection. That's not true. I don't agree with that statement. I've seen people that they don't know anybody. All they did was that they did exceptionally well in their academics. They wrote their tests, they passed flying colors, and they got a job that took them and their lineage out of poverty forever. They didn't know anybody. It was just that they were good at what they did. So as surveyors too, let's also have that mindset. That look, I will always have these accountable, the above the line behaviors, accountable behaviors. Please, let's move to the next slide. There's a game I want us to play. So when my colleague comes, we'll use our different system, maybe phones to play. That's just a small bit of to loosen up a bit. No. Please, can I know how much minutes I have left so that it would help me keep to time? So you just keep my toes. All right. You see, you can see this diagram. It's a circle of control. In the center of the, guess what? Is at the core, the center. The irony about life is that you have some things that you can control. These three things you can control. You can control your actions. You can control your attitude. And you can control your preparation. When I was preparing for this training, it was in my responsibility to sit down. It's my preparation. I sat down. In fact, I went over it again. So if there's an error, I'm taking responsibility for the errors. I hope you understand. It is within my control. But when I now come here, then something's happened and affects. It becomes circle of concern. I'm not in control of weather. Now, what is the thing I do when I'm going out? Some of the things I do is I always calculate traffic in my travel time. Because I'm not in control of Lagos traffic, I'm not. But because I'm quite conversant of the environment I live, so I give and take. I'm going to the island. I'm on the mainland, Alausa here. I say, okay, averagely, I should calculate 1.5 hour traffic time. That's traffic. That's not the travel time. Oh. The travel time is perhaps 40 minutes. Regular travel time. So I add my travel time, 40 minutes, with 1 hour, 30 minutes. What's the idea? I do not want to get there, begin to apologize profusely and tell them, I'm so sorry that Lagos traffic. Hello, I am a Lagos person, so I know that traffic is part of our DNA. So if I am going to be someone that will not allow area of concern to affect my attribute or what I'm doing, I control this the core. You can see that those ones area of they are outside. So you focus your energy on the inner circle. Whatever your actions is going to be, whatever your attitude to life, to work, to anything at all, you are in absolute control of it. That people are stealing, it's not your fault. But it will be a fault of yours if you join them and to defend that, it's because things are hard. There was a song that was released. I can't remember, maybe it's Chief Ebenezer Obey. He said, Iluleo Kosowo Lode. How many people were born when this song was released? I think that song was released in either 1980 or 1981. I was not born in 1980. I was not. But they sang that song then. And some people use that excuse to steal. Right? As of today, Ilu. All right, thank you very much. All right, so let me just finish it. So please, can somebody help me? If Ilu was lay in 1980, what is Ilu today? Ole, Koko. But guess what? Do you know that some people stole them because they said Ilule? Some people are not stealing today. That's Ilu as Lekoko. Is individual responsibility. What do you want to be known for? Is accountability. What do you want to be known for? So you focus your energy on the inner circle. The ones that are outside, circle of concern, weather, client decision, equipment, availability, they are beyond you. So don't let it affect what you should give out. Your very, very best. Your very, very best. Remember I said, people buy into you. Your work is an extension of you. Your services are an extension of you. If I leave this place, I have come to train. I am giving you my very best. If you pay me 1 million and you pay me whatever that's not up to that, I give you all. Why? Because I believe ultimately that in whatever the guys, give your very, very best. That one is within the circle of my influence. I can control that. But there could be a problem maybe when I come here and the microphone is not working. So what do? I increase my voice. God has helped us that this is an enclosed place, so they still be bouncing off of the voice against the wall. So that's my encouragement, that focus on your area of control so you don't get pulled down. All right, so there's a question. Where do you most often shift blame in your work? What changed if you focused only on your circle of control? So this question is just a question for you to ponder. I don't need an answer. Just ponder on it. That look, where do you that blame, where does it always go in your own little way? Please, can we have the Kahoot? All right. So you can bring out your phones. Let's see how we can quickly, or would you try and set it up so that we don't waste time? I have less than 30 minutes now. So if you can, okay. So when it's ready, that we can have it on the. So just call my attention. So please, let's have the next slide. Let's have the next slide. So responsible leadership in surveying, leadership without title. Leadership goes beyond title. It's not about people like this is the Oga. Some people, Nigerians love title. Am I wrong or am I right? You hear something like doctor, archbishop, or they will line all the titles. It's way with us. That's where most of us are. So, but leadership is beyond title. Let us have a team whereby everybody is on top of their game. What does it mean to be on top of your game? You are ever ready to solve problems to the best of your capacity. And then, of course, you already have a mindset of always improving on yourself. Today, you are 70%. Tomorrow, you are always aiming that I want to be 80%. I do not want to stop where I am. I didn't think that there could be any technology that would... Okay, in the 90s, growing up, my dad used to say, let me say it in English. Yomi, Loshi TV, yeah. So those in the 90s will know this. So can anybody help me with the translation? Loshi TV, yeah. Go and open the TV. Okay. So we graduated from Shi TV. Okay, go and change the channel. You stand up to go and change the channel. Today, you just say, Siri, play. You've mentioned the name of the song. You are moving in your home, and then you just call Siri. Siri, play this. I didn't think there was going to be a technology that would do that. It simply meant that some people did not stop at the level of technological advancements. So that's how we also should be, always seeking to get better. Always seeking to get better. In our trade, there's always. All right, so let me just finish this page. Ethical responsibility. Okay. All right, so we'll go back to it. So let's just have a quick short game. We are going to use your phones. And normally I would have shared us into teams before. Okay. So. Okay. You that's it. Okay, so how do they... Okay, yeah, first 10. We would have done teams, but since we are not too many, so let's just maintain. All right. How many do we have? Sugar boy. Who is sugar boy? I can imagine what sugar boy would have gotten during Valentine's. Okay, we have to. Okay, KB. Okay, this is 11 now. All right. All right, so quickly. So the questions will come in and then you can answer. I'm sure everybody's going to get this. Okay, 5 got persons. Okay. I'm looking. I see sugar boy. All right. Okay. That's outside the area of your influence. Wait, somebody still missed that question. Wow. No, someone missed it. Washiri, sugar boy. I would like to know who that sugar boy is. Which Nigeria? Sugar boy. Please, can these people come out? Let's appreciate them. Number 3. So let's have. What's number 3? Number 3. Let's have number 3 first. Oh, you're number 3. Please, let's give him a round. I would have brought. Maybe next time I'll make sure that I bring something for you. Thank you. But you see, but you were the one that came third. Please, let's jam hands together for him. So who is number 2? Was Adeshoko? Please let's give him a round of applause. So I have a feeling that the sugar boy is going to be a female. So just to throw us off balance, I have a feeling. So sugar boy, can we have you to celebrate you? He's really a sugar boy. Please jam your hands together for him. Sugar boy. You know, thank you very much. Congratulations to you. Good one. Thank you very much. In fact, I wish I was able to bring some of our surveyors just to appreciate what this game. I enjoy it because he gets you to think. You find out, this thing, I know it, and then I'm not too sure. But that's on a lighter mode. So I have, how many minutes do I have left? I want to quickly rush my remaining slides. I might have to leave the remaining, I might have to send the slides to you guys so that you can share. You can have everything, please. Because I have to bypass some of these things. All right, so quickly, are we good to go? Did we enjoy the last games? My brother is shaking his head. What happened? You were able to... Joanne, what happened? Okay, they say first 11. You see, that one is out of the area of your influence. So, there was part of the call that I didn't mention. And I hope the cameras are off. And the number 4, you know, I didn't write the number 4th one. There's the number 1, 2, 3, and there's number 4. Number 4 is, I'll say that one in Yoruba, and I won't use the microphone. There's a part of so, and hope for a better one. So, but that's on a lighter mode, please. So moving forward, maybe next time we'll be able to, join. It happened to me too. I also wanted to join at some point, and then I was struck as, but I managed to get to top 5 in one of those trainings that I also was a part of. So quickly, let's rush. We have the next few slides that will be done. Accountable or not, quick decision game, instructions, okay. I'll allow you, statement from surveyors. Vote with your hand. Thumbs up for accountable leadership or thumbs down for blame shifting. Be ready to explain your reason, right? But to save time, I might not. So this week exercise helps you recognize accountability partners in real time, communication. Let's sharpen your instincts for identifying ownership versus excuse making. So let's have the next slide, please. The data was wrong because the equipment wasn't calibrated properly. The data was wrong because the equipment was not calibrated properly. Go back to the next slide. So, yes. So, what are you going to call this? Is that accountable leadership or not? If it's accountable, raise your hand. Is it thumbs up? It's thumbs down. Brother, what's your name? Ahmed. So, thumbs down. What's your reason? If you can get a mic, I do mind. An extra mic for him. All right, so let's have you.
Good morning, everyone. It is not
Thumbs
a thumb
down.
up, it is thumb
Thumbs
down.
down.
Because
So it
sounds like an excuses.
So under the line, is it below the line or above the line?
It is below the line.
Below. Please let's just jam us together for him. So let's move to the next slide again. So I'm just going to take just 2 more and then we'll quickly run. Okay. If someone told me about the site conditions, I would have adjusted my approach. Please go to the next slide. Let's go back. So is it thumbs up or thumbs down? The answer is that that's what I told them to, what I just read. Say it. Okay, blame shifting. So is it thumbs up or a thumbs down? why is it thumbs down? He said if he had known, he didn't know there was a level of the blind spots. So would you want to blame him for the blind spots? Okay, so because it's not entirely, he could not see everything. So you can't blame him because he's not omnipresent. He's not omniscience. He doesn't know everything. It's not me who is the person. All right. Please jam your hands together for him. He's very correct. And the last one in this. All right. I realized I was rushing and made an error. Here's what I'm going to fix and prevent it going forward. What's your answer? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. So jam your hands together for yourself. So I'm going to have to leave these slides because it's something that you can go through, internalize, because I had to bypass some because of my time. So let's quickly run. Creating your personal code of conduct. I needed to do this because for me, self-leadership and self-accountability is basically the crux of every man's life. Some people will tell you that I was born without a silver spoon. That is why I do not have a good life. I do not believe that. Some people tell you that I went into prostitution because life was so hard. So I had no choice. That's not being accountable. Self-leadership, self-accountability. So we start, your personal code of conduct, this is where it starts from. What are your do's or your don'ts? What are the lines you cannot cross? Irrespective of anything, I'm not going to cross this line. Come on, my non-negotiable, what standards will you never compromise? Examples, always verify measurements twice. This is just a practical example. Never certify work I have not personally checked. Report errors within 1 hour of discovery. You see the error, you make an attempt to report it immediately. Why? You know, there are some people that while you're dilly-dallying, you find out that you would compromise your standard. These are the standards I would express. Remember I said something earlier, that everything that you will do, your business, your service, your anything at all, is an extension of you. These were part of the things that Karl Marx wrote about in terms of when the capitalists would go after profits and they will alienate the man or the woman or the laborer, the person, the labor people from their work. So you are providing an expensive service, but you that are providing that service, you cannot eat out of that service. You know, I read something on X recently and it got me laughing. There was a particular guy that went to a restaurant, and the restaurant, it was so expensive. And then he saw one of the staff of the restaurant carrying cooler to go and buy rice and beans across the road. So, you know, but he is part of those that are producing or preparing that very expensive meal, but he has been alienated from his products. But that's not what it is for us. We cannot be alienated from what we do. In fact, what we do is a product of who we are. So if you are going to do an excellent job, it tells me who you are. So these are non-negotiable standards. You have got to be the one to put them by yourself. This is who I want to be known for. And by the time I'm being buried, these are the things I want people to say about me, about the quality of my job and all that. My quality standards. What defines acceptable work for you? Examples, all work peer reviewed before submission. You go over again. There are some things that your eyes will miss. You can give someone a job and walking in. And the person, okay, is still in tandem with what I've seen. Please, let's get a third party. Can you also help me check? Why? You want to make sure that it's excellent. I used to have a senior colleague during my undergraduate days. He finished well. But what I learned from him was that Michael will always, you check your assignments. He has seen that you have done the assignment. He is not going to sit down and just do what you have done. No. He will look for what you did not add and add to it. Whatever comes to him, he ensures that it gets better. So by the time he submits, he gets a high score. So I'm like, that's a smart one. So my communication commitments. How will you communicate in difficult situations? Examples: address concerns directly with the person involved. Admit mistakes immediately. Ask questions when you're uncertain. Assumption is the lowest form of intelligence. You don't assume things. You don't assume things. So, if you are not sure, this is the month of love, before we go to the month of holiness or fasting. Don't assume that babe is your babe until you are sure. And like, so it's not like, so what are we now? What are we now? We are man, we are nothing but person in the hands of the creator. Abi is one of our most important philosophers. So you have got to know, you don't assume, be sure, double check. They tap you while you're sleeping. When you wake up, because of double checks, is with you. Is stop. I'll give you one of the things that happened to me during my MSc days. I didn't know I was supposed to have group presentations in class. And on this day, I had done my presentation. I've done everything on my system. But I was not supposed to present that day. So I went to work. So I just went to school just to check. Okay, it was actually my project defense, MSc defense. So I got there. I was not even dressed. Normally, there's a way you either you wear a full native or you wear, most times, suits, So I was wearing my company's T-shirts and jeans and a sports footwear, like a sneakers. So I got there, and they said every defense will be done that day. And it was, according to timetable, it was on the board, pasted. I did not assume. But me, I don't know. I just went to school just to check. I was not supposed to be in school that day. But I went after work. And lo and behold, they said if you don't present that day, that's it. You have to come with the next set. I was like, how? So they had even finished that session. They just told them that one person is around, the faculty, the department secretary. And then they know, okay, the two lecturers, one of the professor and the doctor. And then I was forced to present that day, to defend that day. I was shaking, I was worried. I was not prepared for that day. I had gone to war and all that. But because it was me that did my work. So the moment they opened my work, and they began to check, and they began to fire questions, I was still able to answer. Because those things were, while I was working, they were internalized. So while they were asking me questions, I was able to respond. And I did well in that defense. Despite the fact that I was not prepared for that day. Despite the fact that the shock that I had to defend when I was not mentally prepared. But because it was still me that did my work, so you can apply it also that because you did this, you can defend it anywhere at any time. So you go over and over again and all that. Then the last one, growth mindset. Remember what we are doing. We are creating a personal code of conduct. And if excellence was a person, it should be you. Excellence in your conduct, excellence in your mannerism, excellence in the execution of your projects. In fact, excellence in interpersonal skills. That's one of the also very important part of leadership that we train. Interpersonal skills, communication. When you say this, it should not be misconstrued to mean that. Say what you mean what you say. All right. So, how will you learn? Last one, growth mindset. How will you learn from mistakes? Conduct post-project reviews, share lessons learned with team, update procedures based on errors. Don't dwell on the errors. Move on. Next slide, please. The long-term career impact of accountability. Year 1, build reputation. How many of you have been surveyors for over 5 years? 4 years? 2 years? Year 1. All right. So build reputation for reliability and honesty. Honesty is the best policy. Early year 1999, year 2000, there used to be one very old man around Allen. So anytime I was coming back from school then, you would see him. He would always go around. His back was already bent. and we will say, honesty is the best policy. Honest, I used to, it looks like folklore, all these novels we used to read, typical African, but you would always say it. If that thing never left me, you always say, honesty is the best policy. I still remember, I'm sure the man would have died by now, but because that's about 26 years ago. So your reputation, your supervisor should trust you with important tasks. You become the go-to person for quality work. Somebody needs a job well done. Somebody needs a job that international organization can come back and say that we need to pick up this person. It should be you. It should be you. Year 3, 4. Take notes. Year 1 and 2 is building foundation. So what does it mean? You are learning. You are learning from people's mistakes. Learning. You are picking up. You are not judging people. You are seeing their mistakes and you are learning from it. Now what that is doing, you are doing to yourself is that you are ensuring that you will not be a victim of what that person is or what that person fell for. So year 1 and 2, you are building foundation. You are meeting the people around. You are building. Some people will say they are colleagues for over 30 years. It started from that year 1 and 2. I know that this person will always give you the very, very best. Year 3 and 4, increase responsibility and complex projects. At that point, you are becoming a household name. They are calling you and all of this. The client requests you specifically in a particular company. You've worked, they've designated you to go work with them. And then they call you that this person is Tunde that we need, is Sugar Boy that we need, and all of these things. Take note of that. Then year 5, leadership roles and project management. At that point, you are mid-level leader in the field. You are getting professional recognition and referrals, license advancements, career options, multiplicity, and all those things. So, reflection prompts. What reputation do you want to build in the next 5 years? I always say, you cannot tax me. The Tinubu cannot tax me for having dreams. So nobody can tax you for having dreams. Nobody can bill you. It doesn't come at a cost. It comes at you dreaming that this is who I want to be. I've always had that at the back of my mind, that I want to remain someone of value even into my 80s. So it means that how I live and how I build today from yesterday matters. So you look at where do you want to be in the next 5 years. Think about it. Visualize it. You take yourself to the zenith. You'll be shocked that you get here. Some years ago, some of the things that were prayer points for me, that were like dreams for me, I've lived them. So I have also I've now edited them. Why? Because I've now gone past that level. I'm now at another level. So I have to change my dream. I have to up the ante. So my people, in the next 5 years, what do you want? What's your career expectations? What are your career dreams? What do you want to be known for? How do you want to be addressed in this your field? That they look up like, man, I don't want to be at this low level. Some might decide to travel out, and then the same mindset that you had while you were here in Nigeria is the same mindset that you carry. That no, when they mention my name, they will know that this guy is an authority in the field of survey. Please, next slide. I think so. Key takeaways: your accountability foundation. Own your work completely. Like I said, it's an extension of you. Communicate early and honestly. Focus on your circle of control. Remember that's our core and periphery. And lead without a title. This one, as a Nigerian, is a problem. People want title. When you are a titled leader, the chances of you really influencing lives is very slim. And that's why we say we have a leadership problem in Nigeria. Because many people just want to get to the posts, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to roll the sleeves and get into the mud to get things better. So you make up your mind that the kind of leader I want to be, that when you come across me, I will be someone that energizes you. I am someone that I give you energy. So you see around me. So be a leader without title. Title is good. It's very good. At least for the sake of your children coming. Yes, I want to leave good titles for them. It helps, not bad. But beyond that, what are the effects of my actions or inactions? Then, the last one here, learn from every mistake. There's a 3-step formula. It's in the slide. We bypassed it. Acknowledge, analyze, act and improve. Acknowledge there's an error. Analyze. What does it mean to analyze? As in break it down. You're analyzing it. Where did it go wrong? How did it go wrong? What went wrong? You break everything down into bits. And then you act. Okay, so this was what we did wrong. And this is what we need to do better. This is accountability in summary. You are accountable for the good and the bad ones. When it is good, there's something I've noticed about Nigerians. When something turns good with the economy, they never want to praise the leader, especially the political leaders. But when it is bad, maybe some men that cannot impregnate their wives. It was because he supports the economy. That's why I'm so infertile now. Own up. Now you fail. Own up. So, this, we have got to, act and you improve. Next slide, please. Your accountability starts today. Winston Churchill, the price of greatness is responsibility. Don't wait. Are you responsible? Are you accountable? The question isn't whether you face difficult situations. You will. The question is, what kind of professional will you choose to be when those moments arise? There'll be tough times. In fact, it's those tough times that build your muscle. Your career muscle. It's the tough times. Your reputation is being built right now. With every measurement, every decision, and every conversation, you choose to cooperate or to operate above the line. Choose to own your outcomes. Choose to be the surveyor others trust without question. Bless you. So the next, if you are not fasting, do you care for Tom Tom? Oh, sorry. If you care for Tom Tom, I don't mind. I will give you. I have one. Okay. Do you care for one? Are you sure? All right. Questions and discussions. Okay. So these ones are for you to take home. What challenges do you anticipate in applying these principles that we've made? What was your biggest takeaway from today's session? So I'm going to ask just 2 people. One male and one female. So what is your biggest takeaway from today's session? I would have asked Sugar Boy, but... All right, so let's jam our hands together for our brother. What's the name again? Ahmed Olajide. Was that what was on the Kahoots, on the game we played? Okay, you didn't play. Someone came out from it. Okay. Oh, all right. So please can you help us with the microphone? Thank you very much.
Once again, I want to thank the YSN for bringing up this type of lecture. So I'm speaking on insights. Okay. So what I noticed about this lecture is not teaching us what to know alone. It's also calling our attention to what to not do. So it's important to know what to not do as it is important to know what to do. So this is what I've gained from this. And also you talked about who we are is how people will see us. So it's like the principle of a mirror. If I stand in front of a mirror now, so my image, I can change my image, but I cannot change the reflection. So if I have stain on my head, so I have to clean the image so that I can reflect on the mirror. So thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get a female. Let's get a female. My sister with glasses. No, it's you. Yeah, it's you. All right.
Okay, for me, one thing that stood out the most was how that leadership is not about the people at the top, but it's the responsibility of everyone within the system. and how that you mentioned that I cannot outrightly say it's not my business and let people do it. At the end of the day, whatever they do affects me directly or indirectly. Like you said with Nigeria, I cannot be saying, I'm not there, they're the ones that are causing all the problem. But at the end of the day, their actions and inaction eventually affects my lifestyle. Thank you.
All right, please jam your hands together for her. You didn't clap for the lady. All right. So, okay. So you can read up these ones. It will be sent to you email. The next slide, please. All right. So your accountability, you can see how it's interwoven. You have project quality. You have to be accountable for that. Professional reputation, industry standards, your career growth, clients' confidence. Clients must be confident in you. Because if not, they're not going to bring their brief to you. They have a bigger brief, they won't come to you, they're not confident. And then team trust. Your team that you're with, they've got to trust you. They've got to trust you, and then you have to trust each other. Don't look down on your team members. Don't feel that I am the most cerebral. The truth is that we all have blind spots, no matter how exceptionally good we think we are. And you found some people that might possibly think that I'm exceptionally good. You have a 5-point CGPA over 5 points CGPA, and you find out that someone that does not have that 5 points will just bring out a point, and then the first-class person didn't even see it, because there's always going to be a blind spot. So in your team, when there's a blind spot, you don't pull down, you don't judge, you correct to make sure that the best is gotten. Please, let's move to, okay. Challenges, fear of consequences, the solution. Remember that hiding errors create bigger problems. Peer pressure to cut corners. Challenges, time pressure, and then perfectionism paralysis. This one, there are some people that have this problem. They are perfectionists. And then at times, if you should know that, yes, while we want excellence, the truth is that it could have its own negative, I'm talking about perfectionism now, whereby people begin to they won't be able to work with you. People begin to run from you. So how do you get better? How do you raise better people if people run from you? If you are supposed to help them get better and they don't want to come close to you, you can't influence their lives or their careers positively. If you take notes, I have been speaking to you as leaders, not as young professionals. Do you know why? Because already you have been handling jobs. You are handling jobs. Am I wrong or am I wrong? Albeit, there's room for more, to develop more, for it to be more robust, for it to develop more intellect, for it to carry out projects at a higher level. You wouldn't look at yourself limit yourself to the local level. No, it's a global world today, and don't be shocked. Somebody goes on LinkedIn and sees your profile, the jobs that you have handled, even maybe from your undergraduate days or when you did maybe CWAS, maybe someone that did CWAS or something. And then they say that, oh, you have done this, can we have you? And then it looks like you are promoted, you are giving maybe double promotion, maybe you are not at that level, just because of the quality of job that has come. It's because already you have worked on your mind, you have enlarged your mind, and you're ready to take up the big jobs. Although, don't go for the big jobs if you are not building capacity. I would advise that. Why? Because if you take what is beyond you, you might not have a second chance on time. Yes, it's okay to, if you fall in a way that affects your career, it might take you a longer time for you to get back on track. So what you do is, you know your capacity, and then also learn collaboration. Learn collaboration. What does it mean to collaborate? You have someone that is good in a certain area that you are not good at. Don't say that I'm bigger than that person. No, don't. Why? Because it will be at your loss if you cannot learn what that person knows to add to yourself for you to be better. So at this point, you're actually being accountable to yourself. You made up your mind that this is where I intend to be. I think we should have just one One more slide. Is it on? All right. So okay. Building an accountability culture, model it first. Don't preach what you are not. Reward honesty. Don't make people that are honest regret that they were honest. Reward it. Then focus on learning. We said that before. Treat mistakes as learning opportunities. That you are failing forward. You are falling forward. So when you fall forward or you fail forward, by the time you are standing up, you have moved from where you were that was behind the point at which you fell or you failed. So you fail forward, you get better. And focus, set clear standards, define what accountability looks like in specific situations. Remove ambiguities from your expectations. Be clear, be concise, and then follow through. Hold yourself and others to the standard you set. Consistency, using it. Don't be like water, like ocean, where it's always, be consistent. What they made, the standard they made with you today, let it be the same thing. So anywhere they take your matter to, say, no, we know him, we know her. She is of ultimate standard. If she says it is this, take it to the bank. Her word is actually her bond. Next slide. Okay, this is personal. You do this. You do this. You will be having this with your email, so you go with the last next slide. Okay, legacy, live with integrity, hold your outcomes, build your trust through passion. 100% commitment, one decision at a time, just like you take one step at a time. And you have 5 years of excellence. In the next 5 years, I would have built step by step and build. Thank you very much. But before I drop the mic, I'll just to correct. Somebody called my name Yomi. It's not Yomi. My name is Yomi Oluwa Yomi. God save me. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause for you, please. So right now we'll meet the next session, question and answers. If you have any question, kindly raise your hand or press down. 5 minutes. If you have any question, please raise your hand, or you can simply just write it down and pass it in front of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful training. And it's indeed an eye-opener and a call to do more. As leaders, you taught us that we have to be accountable, we have to be responsible. So, but I think beyond being accountable to ourselves, being responsible to ourselves, as leaders, are we also accountable and responsible for others' success and failures?
All right, that's a very good question. One of the things you need to understand is that in that means, do you know some people will fall because you fall? Some people will dare some things because you dare to do those things. Some people will succeed because they saw you succeed. And some people will fail just because you failed. So it means that there are some things you should not do because of people that are watching you. And you wouldn't say, I don't care. You should care. Why? Because destinies are at stake. One person might be the reason why a lot of people get educated. For those of us that grew up in the Southwest, and for some of us that are politically inclined, you would never forget the effect of Obafemi Awolowo in the lives of Yorubas, and not just Yorubas, because the Western region extended as far as Bendel, that's present-day Delta and Edo. So many of them were not Yorubas, but they benefited from free education. So if they did not have that free education, a lot of destinies would have been truncated. That's leadership that came Andy. I remember when Tinubu was governor, and then he returned schools to the private owners, because they had an association, the private owners. So, by the time the military took over, they took over all the private schools. So by the time democracy came, they formed an association, and they made a demand on the Lagos State government, that Tinubu was governor then, and they said they wanted the schools of their parents back. So they had that negotiations, and those schools were returned. Now, because it was now a private school and no longer public, those ones had to charge school fees. It was no longer government. So what the governor at that time did, he now made WAEC fees free, so that those that didn't have the amount of money to pay for WAEC were saved from looking for WAEC fees. Why did I use these illustrations? Leadership comes in handy. You could have just said that, look, we are not doing free education. I'm talking about those two leaders. That we might not do free education, and they don't care. But some people that might not have been able to pay for those WAEC fees or pay for education, that would have changed the trajectory of their lives moving forward. So it's very important that as a leader, you hold yourself at high standards. It's self-discipline. In fact, the most important kind of leadership is self-leadership. If you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead others. If you cannot discipline yourself, you cannot discipline others. If you cannot influence yourself, you can't influence others. So the onus lies on us individually. All of us are leaders, whether we see ourselves as such or not, because we've demystified it. Leadership is about service. What do you have to give at different levels? If the person that cleaned this place did not clean it and make it clean, the rest of us would not sit here comfortably and without perceiving odor and bad smell. So it meant that she owned up leadership in he or she owned up leadership in that cleaning space. That person was our leader. He made this place convenient for us to sit. So in this room, we have room of leaders, albeit responsible for different things, accountable for different things. So if you fall, it's going to affect others. So you have to also be conscious. But you learn from them. The system, Nigerian system is corrupt. But this is not the people. You're about to say, I don't know how to translate that in English. You can ask ChatGPT to help you with that. But in essence, what I'm trying to say is that, look, it's still people that are making the system corrupt. Like I said, I would rather not be if I do not have the capacity to make it better, I will not be a contributory or contributor to making it worse. How do you understand? So if I can't get it better, just make sure that when they are calling lists of those that have got it worse, my name will not be mentioned. With time, we can increase the number that will make things happen. With time. Okay, I have this suggestion. You write it, you document it against your name. This is it. With time, they will call your name that this person said these things. Even the ones that are doing bad things, when they need a honest person, they will not choose among themselves. Is there a honest thief? That's the truth. They will go out of their circle to go and look for a honest person because they need honesty at that point. So they will call you. So you're only two ways. So maintain who you are, because at the end of the day, your legacy is your legacy. Your children unborn, whatever you have done, will stand up and say, this is what this person did in her time. And on account of she deciding to be different. When you do the right thing on Lagos roads, they abuse you. Instance, you stop at the traffic lights. When it's red, you decide to stop. You've not heard, they've caused me several times. I will not answer. The light is red. The light is red. So as long as the light is red, I ain't moving. Nobody is watching me, because there are some places that they don't have cameras. So no one is watching me. But I am the leader of myself. Thank you.
Okay, in the absence of none, can we give our speaker another round of applause? Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful session. We are grateful. Your time with us was truly enlightening. You have a question? You have a question? Okay.
Sorry, I'll need your LinkedIn profile. Yeah,
Okay. Going. Any question? I already Instagram. Gone. So, moving on to the next thing on our agenda, we're going to be taking a 10-minute break for us to maybe stretch our legs, get a bottle of water, and relax a bit.
Thank you. So, you can meet and greet. Media, please play us Iluleo.
Okay, and before you leave, I would like to call on the state chair, Surveyor Rachel, to present an award.
Okay, so on behalf of the Young Surveyors Network Lagos State branch, and on behalf of the training committee, I want to thank you so much for that powerful lecture. I mean, it's really huge, and I'm going home better informed. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. We called for you and you came, knowing fully well that, this is a young people's program. So thank you, sir. So I hereby present to you the award to Mr. Oluyomi Akinshola in recognition of your valuable contribution to the YSN Leadership Training Program. Theme: Character, Integrity, and Accountability in Leadership. So we have 5 minutes more for the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please come back to our seats? The tea break is over and we would like to move on to the next session. I hope we're all feeling refreshed now because the next session is going to be packed with a lot of knowledge. So satisfy your bellies so that we can satisfy your mind in the next few minutes. So I would like everyone to have their seats. So moving on to the next session, the theme for the next session is character and integrity in leadership. This session is to be anchored by one of our guest speakers, Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga, ably represented by Mr. Emmanuel Adigun. I'd like to call on Mr. Oseni Kodri to read the bio of our guest speaker, even if he's here in absentia. I'd like to read his bio. Mr. Oseni.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocol duly observed. Permit me to read the profile of Mr. Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga, duly represented by Mr. Emmanuel Adigun. Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga is a two-time councillor and the immediate past leader of the legislative arm of Ikeja local government. He made history in his first term as the youngest councillor in Lagos State and became a leading voice in the Not Too Young to Run movement, advocating youth inclusion and in governance. He holds a degree from the Covenant University and both an MBA and MPA, reflecting strong expertise in leadership, governance, and public service. His career spans both public and private sectors, including service at the Lagos State Ministry of Special Duties and Right Food Limited, where he rose to head of marketing. Widely recognized for his commitment to youth development, empowerment, and participatory governance, Honorable Adenuga is a recipient of multiple awards and continues to champion progressive leadership at the grassroots. Please, with a rounding clap, please join me as I welcome Mr. Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I must say it's a great privilege and honor to be here this afternoon and to actually be standing in front of decision makers. And but before I actually go ahead with what I have to say this afternoon, I bring you greetings from Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga, who is not present here today. He's currently out of town, which is why he's not here today. My name is Emmanuel Adigun, and I work as a media and communications professional, and I'm also a community manager who builds communities for forward-thinking brands. And I think before I actually dive into what we have to discuss today, I want to actually celebrate our first speaker in the person of Mr. Oluwayomi for that amazing session. Can we please celebrate him? I know he's not here, but let's appreciate him for that. That was really beautiful. At some point in the course of the conversation, when he was done, I said, I think you stole some of the things I wanted to talk about this afternoon, but really, it's really going to be a good time. However, I would like to just make some things clear. It's actually a good thing when we have this kind of session. Oftentimes when we attend leadership conferences, we sometimes don't pay attention because we think we know everything about leadership. I was once like you, sometime last year. So one of the brands that I work with actually paid, I think, about 100,000 to attend a 2 weeks leadership training. And in my mind, I was like, what do I want to learn again about leadership? That I cannot give me the money. What do I need to learn? But I had to pay close attention. Then I was able to actually learn the things that I thought I knew. Then I realized that leadership is actually deeper than what we think we know a lot of times. Also, before I actually go into my slide, there are times people attend conferences, people attend meetings, and at the end of the conference, when you ask them, what did you learn? You hear things like, I learned a lot. Please, try not to learn a lot. I'm going to be talking about so much, but I want you to focus on the key words that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be sharing stories with you. Ensure that you pay close attention. Because when we are done with this session, you're able to use these keywords to trace every of the things I'm going to be talking about today. So even if you forget whatever I've thought on, you can remember the story that I shared, and you can use that to reflect back to the things that I spoke about. So, and I really hope that it's really going to be a good time. So this afternoon, I'm going to be talking about character, integrity, and accountability in leadership. When Honorable reached out to me that I was going to represent him today, I was like, okay, no problem. So I stayed on the island, and I woke up around after 5, and I stepped out around 6. So I left the island around 6 a.m. And I got here around after 8. So when I got here, I'm familiar with the Ikeja here. So I noticed this place that I'm coming. I said, okay, that's fine. So I went into ShopRite to just take coffee and waiting till around, I think it was to 9 or something. I left where I was. I think to 9 or after 9, I left where I was and I was coming here. I said that to tell you that The true test of leadership is not when you've gotten to the peak of your career. It actually starts from now, where you are. And I was not like this before. I could remember a time that I was on the mainland, and one of the honorable that I was working with then told me that he had an interview on TVC. And he told me, Emmanuel, I need you to be in my house for 5 a.m. so we can leave early. So I slept and I woke up late. I woke up 5:30 and I chatted him. His name is Honorable Okeabayomi Ashiwaju. He said, Emmanuel, don't bother, I'm there already. It was not painful, but it was what happened afterwards. So after that time, he had to speak somewhere in Otta, and he had to use a case study. And as God would have it, he used me as a case study. That there was a time that I told Emmanuel that we needed to be at TVC studio, and Emmanuel was calling me 5:30 when I told him to meet me in my house 5 a.m. It was not painful until the cameraman brought the camera to my face and everybody in the world that streamed were looking at me. It was a lesson that I learned, and that delivered me. Since that day, I don't attend conferences, meetings, I don't attend late. Because the honest truth is, what actually makes you fault as a leader is not about the big things. It's always about the little things you don't pay attention to. Because those little things ends up becoming something that can actually be the only thing that's going to differentiate you from other people. Interestingly, it got so good that even when it comes to attending virtual meetings, I don't attend late. Whenever I'm to teach virtually, I even join maybe 10 or 20 minutes. Some of you, probably you have an interview, and even the recruiter is there before you. You are now joining 5 minutes. Some people don't know how to even turn on cameras. They'll tell you that they did not tell us to turn on our camera. It's so little, but it's actually a test of character. So can we trust your character? Can we trust your integrity? And are you accountable in the things that you do? So let's go into my slide. Why are we here? Leadership today operates under unprecedented scrutiny. People are watching more closely than ever before, analyzing decisions, questioning motives, and evaluating authenticity. So the big question is, who are you when no one is watching? Reflect on that for a minute. Who are you when no one is watching? The honest truth is, how you behave when no one is watching is who you are. What you do when no one is watching you is actually who you are. Because a lot of times, even as leaders, we tend to put up our best behavior or our best attitude forward when people are watching. But the true test of leadership is what you do when nobody's watching you. I tell people that I've worked with a couple of politicians, and I can tell you for a fact that we don't really have much problem. The major problem we have is a leadership problem. And what we don't know is the leader we produce today were once in a family. So it means that the bad person you're looking as a bad person right now came from one family. The things they are doing right now were the things they have been doing before on a small platform, on a small scale, but it became so big because nobody was paying attention to it. So when you see someone who has this mindset that I need to steal to have everything, then it starts from somewhere in the family, but we were not paying attention to it. So what you do when people are not watching you is actually who you are. Technical skills and professional expertise matters tremendously, but skills alone are not enough to sustain leadership through challenges and maintain the trust of those you serve. Leadership is service. leadership is influence. As much as we say that when you see anything on social media, you should filter it, I can tell you for a fact that it can never change. There are people that are, in as much as you keep saying it, they will still live their lives based on what they see on social media. And I hope that you know that the fact that we have the majority talking about a particular thing does not make it the truth. But interestingly, when people gather to say something over and over again, it becomes the norm. And because it's the norm, we follow the crowd. So the fact that everybody is saying it does not mean it is true. Because the public figures we have right now are not even a good models of possibilities. And that is why we are where we are. If only we can have much more people who are actually product of possibilities, then the change we want to see up there is going to begin from down here. Because nothing actually gets better at the top, but it has to come from the source that we've neglected. You want to effect a change, it's not when you actually rise up to leadership or when you're made the CEO or when you're given a position. It starts from you being a member. As surveyors in our industry that we are in right now, we decide people's future. I consult for real estate brands, and it breaks my heart sometimes when some surveyors, as it were, just have to just neglect their values when it comes to what they want to get from the whole thing. Because when people buy property, people buy peace of mind, people buy security. So it means that when anything goes wrong, it started from the source. It started from you actually saying yes to that deal that you could have said no to. Integrity. And it's funny. The reason why it's funny is because when you choose to stand for what is right, people begin to judge you and criticize you. But the moment you stand for what is right, what you don't know is that you may be little, but people know when to pay attention to the people who are doing the right thing. You know why? If anything goes wrong tomorrow, they will need the people that are doing the right thing to correct the norm. We most times think that when we do something that is right, we need to be loud at first. No. When you do something that is right, it begins to flow. It becomes a value chain. So it flows from one to another to another. So when it gets up there, it is being traced to the source, which is you. So when you say yes to a real estate company and you know that this land that we are on right now is a government property, and you still say yes to it, the clients that bought into that property, tomorrow when there is a problem and the client is probably sharing costs as souvenir, it will get to you. That's the honest truth. The CEO of the organization will collect his own. The surveyor too will collect his own. So what are you doing, or how do you behave when no one is watching you? We need to understand that what really keeps a leader standing when pressure mounts is your character, your integrity, and who you are accountable to. Your character. Are you a person of integrity? Who are you accountable to? So what is this session about? This session is about having the moral courage of doing the right thing consistently. So it's not just about doing the right thing. Are you consistently doing the right thing? Are you consistently doing what is right because you don't have a major platform yet? The people that are corrupt right now started from when it was just little. You know, what we don't know is when your character is flawed, when your integrity is flawed, it seems as though you think you have a platform of other people who believes that negativity. What you don't know is that the moment those people want to make major decisions that has to do with their future, because people changes per time, they will not bring you in. They will choose the people that have integrity. You hear things like, Emma Gbefun Davido, don't call Davido, let us give it to Bode. They will not say it in front of you. They are bad people. Come to think of it, we hear things like some politicians just steal money, they just take government funds and all of that. Why is it that they trust people? They trust the people that do not have the kind of attitude that they have. You know, the funny thing is, they meet these people at their low level. Let me tell you something, guys. The best time to know people that has integrity is when they are in their potential state. Everybody are always in their potential state. You know why some people are actually vulnerable right now? That you see them and you're like, they are in one particular position right now, but they can't actually do the truth, or they cannot stand for the truth. It's because the person that put them in that position discovered them in their potential state. They were vulnerable. So people are always in their potential state. When you meet people in their potential state, they are very vulnerable. They will do your bidding because at the point in time, probably they don't have. They are so good at what they do, but because they stand for integrity, not everybody knows them. So at that point in time, you begin to nurture them. So when they fall into wrong hands and they bring them into a position, you will do their bidding. Because they came through for you when you are in your vulnerable state. So you need to consistently do the right thing. And you don't just do the right thing when you feel like or not. Another point that I have here is private integrity. Making ethical choices even when no one is watching or will ever know. One of my friends will always tell me, Bidak Professional, he currently works at the special assistant to the Director General NACA in Abuja. He told me one time, he said, people are always watching you. You don't know. Yes. People are always watching you. You know the reason why you don't pay attention to it now is because you're doing things that are right. Do something that is bad. You will leave your house in the morning, probably you go do your businesses and all of that. Nobody, you think I'm just going out, I don't talk to anybody, I go on my own, I mind my business, I do all of this kind of thing. Ensure that you don't enter one problem. Or something happens. If anything should go wrong, that is when you will know that people are watching. Oftentimes than not, some people, because they think that, oh, I'm not sure people are watching, when they go into problems, they'll be, that's the way you used to do. They don't know you. That's the way you used to do. And you think they are not watching. They're always watching. How you behave when people are not watching is actually who you are. Another thing is difficult decisions. Standing firm on principles, especially when it is hard, unpopular or costly. Are you able to still stand your integrity, even in your low moment? Some people still think that they have integrity until certain figures hit your account. Yes. You think, I don't do that. You won't bring that to my table. I won't do that. It's a lie. Me? I don't trust myself. I ask for grace every day. Either you're a Christian or you're a Muslim. Have you seen money before? You have not seen money before. Oh my goodness. I will tell you, because I love to be practical, so it does not sound like perspire to refire. Because we think we have some certain values until you see money. I'm saying it's not transfer. Many of you will get to work with politicians later, probably stakeholders, probably certain individuals. They don't do transfer, it's cash. Will you still stand on your character? I have integrity, I won't do so. I'm close to a few politicians. I hope you know that politics is grassroots. It's not, forget Nigeria, you say the people decide who become, is a lie. There are some people who decide the future. You know that election is coming. You are seeing everything happening right now is PR for campaign. I'm into PR, I understand. I just keep quiet. Because there are some truths that you know, that if you tell the next person, it will become a threat to their life, so you keep quiet. There was a time that I entered some places in this Ikeja. I was shocked. I was following one of my clients then. Entered. This guy, he has not been in Nigeria in a while. So he's always big boy, everything. He's running for a position then. I didn't know. It is Ikeja. We just entered some places. When we got to the entrance of that place, we bent down. Monini Ikeja. Did you know Shabuli? And when we're still going, it's like that restroom that is there. We bent down from the entrance. We went inside. And we went to see one woman there. They said there is nobody that wants to become something in this Ikeja that does not come there. And the guy went on the floor, lie down. I said, Oga mi dobale. Hey. Hello? Those pictures, videos, it was not online. You cannot see it online. Yes. You know the crazy thing? That woman, she's old, but she has passport of different countries. She's always traveling up and down. I said, The crazy thing is that before we got there, they don't bring information to her and say, this person is around, or this person is coming to your place. So I'm saying test of character. And of course, we do good boy before we left there. No transfer is cash. I'm saying this to say that they will bring some deal to you. Some of you think it's about 100,000 or 200,000. It's not, I'm talking real money. They'll say, David Bawoni, how you doing? You know, there is this project that we have here or something. We just want you to just map out the whole thing. I said, sir, you know, I don't do that, sir. Master Roju, don't talk too much. They will not say anything, no. They will just, that bag will open in front of you. Say, God. Kill left sauce, sir. Go sorrow, mom. I will send the copy to you, sir. That's the end. So you think you have it? No, I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic. It happens in all industries. So we need to stand for what is right, even when nobody is watching us. Because when you collect such money, nobody knows. But you know the effect of that thing is that when you see some families later that are crying, some houses they are demolishing in Lagos right now, who are the surveyors that mapped out those things? So it can take 50 years, they can take 100, they are shout. You know the crazy thing? People too are greedy. The people who bought into it too knew. They just knew that it's a matter of time. But integrity, God. Because sometimes people live in the moment that they forget the future. Because they would have forgotten long, like, nothing they saw until 50 years later. Because you think 50 years is far, but it will happen like a flash. So when it happens, what happens? You know the crazy thing? People who sometimes own this property, they don't get problem. They don't make money, go and get another place. What happens to that person that is doing 9 to 5, that is a tenant in that house? Can you see that it's a chain? Just because one person chose not to stand for integrity. The big things does not happen in public eyes, though. It happens in the private. Hope you know that major decisions about this country, it does not happen during the day. It happens in the night. You want to watch big cars? Oh, God. I stay on the island. Oh, God. Things are happening. Oh. You think there's no money in Lagos? Okay. I saw cars. Rolls Royce, all those that will make you think about your life. They don't work during the day. Oh. No. It's middle of the night. There's a place they used to go. I don't know if I should say it. They say Secret Palace. Yeah. That was where I went. They said I should come. I said, yeah. I saw cars. I saw the people coming. I said, Jesus. Let me tell you something. You know why you need to have integrity? The kind of money that will change your life forever. You cannot make it through 9 to 5. Yes.
Some money that will change our lives, in whatever industry we are in, our money will be slowed. And that's grace. It does not come all the time. If you think you can make it in this industry through 9 to 5, you will work till you die. It's the honest truth. But a lot of times, people, because they want a fast gain, they just want to tread the other path. So it's not as though you cannot make money from what you do, but it can take time. But the honest truth is, people who stand for integrity know who to look out for when it is time. The people who know Tinubu today that they celebrate did not know Tinubu when he was a president. They knew Tinubu when he was in his potential state. The people that Tinubu is raising today are bringing together are people he has trusted over the years. He met them in their potential state. He met someone who in his potential state. On my later end. Because people who have integrity are people who stand for something. They are able to see. So when they bring those people in at their potential state, they push something forward to them. They test your character. They will test you now. Some of you, you've messed up relationship. You could have even made more from that project. But they trusted you with 10 million. You think 10 million is it? At those level, they are testing your character. So the best time to actually test your character is if we are all in our potential state. And someday, somebody will call us to come and nurture us. So if people do not trust you enough, we are stealing money together now, they are all
As surveyors, you deal with land rights and property boundaries. You deal with financial transactions, community trust, and public interest, legal documentation and accuracy. But what we need to understand is that one wrong decision can permanently change your career. Just one. It's not many, it's one. As simple as, that one, maybe they spoke to someone about you. The person did not say anything, no. Alpha, chairman, what do you think? I think we should give this thing to David. David is a good surveyor, he will help us map out. David, you know, so they will know him to say, that's enough. We need to understand that the cost of compromise can harm families and community. I talked about demolitions and all of that, just because somebody chose to default in those areas. The cost of compromise can break public confidence in the profession. And what do I mean? Is one surveyor that did nonsense. So, but surveyor, he has not worked with all surveyor. He's just one. And you know the crazy thing? It can stain that profession that even people that will do well or correct the narrative will choose not to go into that industry just because of one thing that happened at one point. Because as much as we think that people are corrupt, we have people that are doing the right thing, but they are not just loud enough. Because in this society we are in right now, people love lies. People don't want the truth. It's not about now. It's about 20 years to come, 30 years to come. People will be tired. You are stealing money, you'll be tired. Let me tell you something, guys. It will get to a point in your career that money will not be the only thing you want to stand for anymore. Why do you think that our political leaders, many of them have NGOs? Think about it. They want to correct some of their character flaws and their integrity. They want to correct the narrative. That is the reason. They call something, I don't even know the English of atumbotan. An aftermath of what they have done. They now think, let me just do NGO, you should correct it and everything. Let me tell you something. It will not correct everything. It won't. You think saying no is easy? It's a lie. Saying no is hard. Standing for what is right is hard. But you need to try anyways. Because when you think about the cost that is ahead, I consult for a few real estate brands, and there's this surveyor that works with one of the brands that I work with. I don't know who lies most between a surveyor and those bricklayers. I'm sorry. Mr. David, Alpha, where you there now? Am I missing? Mon and client is waiting. Client that will give 9 a.m. Where are you? Mon boss there. Amy Rena. I will now come outside. Me Orina. Bye, Kim, you know. There was one day they shocked me. He has brought his people on site. They were pegging and everything. And we needed him to clients actually, how will I put it now? They validate what you're doing when they see survey on site. That, this thing is true and all of that. So the guys that he brought were pegging and all of those kind of things. And we were calling this surveyor. He don't go another site. And he said he's coming. I waited for 1 hour. Guy come. When he came, he did not tell us he went to another site though. He said, we no get land reach that side, Baba. I just oh my fear now. God. Test of character. Because you need to understand that leadership starts early in your career. So do the values that will define you. The habits you build now will shape the leaders you become. We need to understand that. We need to also understand that character is who you are when there is no audience. It is the authentic self that emerges when rewards, recognition, and reputation are stripped away. That you are still able to do what you need to do even when you're being told to sit down. Probably, for instance, now, The lady who was anchoring this session, she has prepared, they've told her that, you'll be the one to moderate this session. And by the time she got there, she's been told, you may need to sit, we want this sort of person, and you're still fine with it. You need to know that the decision you make when faced with ethnical dilemmas plays a major role in who you become. How you treat others, especially who cannot benefit you, is very important. Some of us, we only help people because of what we get from them in return. The reason why some people want to help you today is because so that tomorrow they can say, I helped him. Some projects, some contracts, some gigs will come now to you. Not because they like you. It's because they've seen you in your potential state. They will bring you close, lure you in. So when you get to certain stage in life of your career, they will bring some offers to you, and they will tell you that, have you forgotten then? They remind you of when they came in. So it means that there are some gigs that will come that you will say no to when you know that this person is not doing this for fun. They are doing it for what they want to get from me later in life. Maintaining standards across all situations is very key as leaders. People follow character before they follow skill. Trust is built on who you are and not just what you do. As surveyors, we need to understand that integrity is not optional. Say what you mean. Communicate with honesty and clarity, avoiding convenient ambiguity. We need to know you for your words, that if David says A, you can say it is A. Do what you say. You need to understand that your words is your bound. Honor your commitment and follow through on promises made. One of the things I tell people, because I build realtors community for real estate company, and I tell many of my people, many of my clients that I work with, that it is better to underpromise and overdeliver than overpromise and underdeliver. Because if anything goes wrong on that deal, they will come after you and tell you that this is not what you told us. May we not work with the wrong brands. May we not work with the wrong brands. Because, listen up, guys. There are some brands that you work with that you cannot put their name in your CV. Because if they should see it on your CV that you worked with this person or these people, that's the end. I've worked with brands before, and they allocated the same place for about 10 people. I was shocked. 10 people. They will now say, you need to come for private allocation. People were outside the entrance of the estate. They were not taking people one after the other. But taking people to that same place. It was one person that noticed. Guy just turned it. This is not this. You know the crazy thing? Oh my God. I don't see stuff for this industry. Some clients will think that, when they go for inspection or allocation, they will now take picture of that place. When I've taken the picture, I will do it. Only for you to come later. This is not looking like that. I level. This one, people don't have integrity. I'm telling you. There are some brands that we know and they will be selling 50 acres. You know, because I'm in the industry, you can relate, Abi. Yes. 10 acres, so when they now want to buy again, family will now say, we are not selling for that price again. There will not be a problem. So your worth is your bound. You need to understand that once integrity is lost, trust becomes exponentially harder to rebuild. Some relationships never recover. Your reputation is fragile. Protect it fiercely. As leaders, especially in this industry, you don't make decisions under pressure. Most bad decisions don't start looking bad. They begin innocently, gradually, and almost imperceptibly. It does not happen on a very big scale. It happens subtly. You will lie small. Before you know it, you will just start lying. Just let me just take this. Before you know it, it turns into something that is big. So when you're under pressure, you don't make stupid decisions. You need to be concerned about the consequences of your action, because there will always be consequences. You need to understand that the easy path can be compromised. Yes, because a lot of times we just want to go through the easy route. Nobody wants problem. Nobody is watching me, just this one deal. But your one deal can actually cause a lot of havoc. Somebody that is doing business, a client that is doing business with a brand right now, probably saving up his salary from his 9 to 5, and the land has issues later. It started from somewhere. Have you think about a client that is old, probably collected a pension, and was thinking that, let me just buy this for my children. Let me just keep something in their name. And some things goes wrong. It happens from somewhere. There is a client of mine that came back into the country a couple of days ago, and there was a brand I was working with at the time, and one of the land the person bought had issues. I don't collect my commission. And the brand did not communicate, and the government took some land in Ekpe then and all of that. So the client was saying, I'm back to Nigeria now, and I think I want to do a couple of things on my land. And when he called me, I was telling him that, land has issues. So I said, why don't I communicate to him? I said I had it under control. That's why I did not communicate this to you. So we need to understand that every of our decisions, it carries weight. And there are consequences for all of these things. No matter how long it takes, it will definitely come. We need to understand that leadership means pausing in those moments and asking yourself, is this right? We must understand that the more visible you become, the more closely people examine your actions and decisions, because people are always watching. You must understand that your choices affect more people. It carries wider consequences as set precedent for others. Either you do good, people are watching. Either you do bad, people are always watching. Leadership brings influence, and influence brings opportunity to compromise values for gain. Real leaders stay grounded even when pressure rises. They remember their principles, maintain perspective, and remain connected to the value that brought them to leadership in the first place. There were some things you did at some point that brought you to where you are right now. And I'm going to share my story for a bit because I'm about wrapping up. There was a time that I wanted to join the police force because I wanted to stop corruption. I didn't know what I was thinking then. It must have been hunger. Because I don't understand why I thought I could change corruption. I say, I want to join the police force. I want to change the world. All these cowboys who shoot them in their legs. You know, I said, government eating money will change everything. I was staying in Otta then. And I was connected to some, bosses in the police force. There's corruption in this country. Corruption. So, I collected form. I said I was not going to use that. I want to know. Maybe there's corruption. I collected form online, filled the form. So in the form, there was a place that I think CSP will need to put their picture and also sign. So I passed it over. They even took, the people I knew then took it to their quarters, their bosses and everything. They signed, added the picture and all of that. So I submitted online. I was waiting. Oh yeah, now this police joined. Say, I will change the world. That was why I wanted to join. Guys, I got an email. Okay, we were told to come for screening. That if you are shortlisted, you come for screening. So I left where I was staying and I went to Elewe in Abeokuta. When I got there, we were told to put on white. I don't know if you have that experience before. We're not putting on anything naked, but we were putting on a white short. So they were now telling us that we should walk. So we had CSPs. They were sitting on the tall, on their stand like this, and we're told to walk. If they call you, you will walk in front of them like this. I say, Lane, he said, I will change the world. I will be shortlisted. They checked my height. They said, you are overqualified. They checked everything. I said, you never say anything. I will change the world. Because after the screening, you should go for orientation. You should go to camp. I want to go to camp, of course. You'll be enlisted. So after the screening, like I passed everything. Look at my height now. If I want to join any force, So I was sure. When it was time for the name for the screening so that you can go to camp, everything. So if your name is out, you will need to come to Elewe. They will paste the names so you can check. I'm talking about test of character, having integrity, and being accountable. When I became shocked was that, you know that when we went for the match pass, everything, you will know yourselves now. I can see you to an extent, because I know we're many, but I know. When we now went to check our names, I'm now seeing people with pot belly. That is when I know that there's a problem. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You can't pot belly. It's now big, like, and that one said, I said, this person was not here when we came for match pass. This person was not. When I checked the list, I looked for my name as if I was looking for pin. I did not see my name. Those people that were short, pot belly, they're like, I got it. I went home. I don't know why I cried, Seth. It's because I did not know what I'm doing. And I went home. I felt sad. I said, there's corruption in the land. I wanted to change the world. That's why. It was after that time I realized that the corruption in the system is a lot. Because tell me why I was shortlisted and I did not see my name on that list. It means that that list has been filtered out. It has been corrupted because somebody did not have integrity. Maybe they have showed the person that, this one, no. You're done. Because then, I wanted to join the anti-robbery squad. Had it been I joined, they go don't kill me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. Because a truthful man amongst other people that are not truthful, you cannot thrive. If you are you are the only truthful person in a system that is corrupt, your days are numbered. It's either you pull out or you pay with your life. Honest truth. So if I had been admitted then, I would have been dead. I said at the robbery squad, that was where they put me, that this guy can, I'm glad. You know why I also validated that there was a problem in the system was the people that signed my copy told me that you did not see your name. You should have come back. That they just need to send a letter with that form, and that's the end. I say, why do I need to come back? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So apparently they understand how it works. I mean, I did not know. I just thought I can just go online, see form, and just join. It's a lie. And that was how it ended. I still have the form in my house. After that time, I said I want to join the soldier. I will beat police. But I'm glad I did not join. You people are doing good. Okay, we're online. Okay. You people are doing very well. I love you so much. You know, everything I said the other time, it was just, we can do better, you know. I know that I cannot change the world, but we can start from where we are right now. You know, I'm a cool guy. I love you guys, and I celebrate what you're doing, but we can do better. Don't hold that against me. I'm just teaching, you know. So let's go on. Accountability builds credibility. Accountability builds credibility. We need to understand that good leaders don't deflect blames or make excuses. They own their action, acknowledge their mistakes, and take full responsibility for outcomes, both good and bad. So if it goes wrong, you take responsibility, you own it. Then you provide a solution as leaders. Admitting mistakes, acknowledging errors quickly and honestly without defensiveness. You know, my sister was saying the other time that men don't know how to actually apologize. It's because sometimes it is the tone and the approach. There are some people that do not know how to admit to a mistake, so they gaslight you into it. So they are not actually apologizing, but they're saying, I'm sorry, but you two should not have done that. No, you should not add that part. So I actually apologize for doing this. I check myself almost all the time. Because, like I said, little things matter. It's not the big thing. It's not. It's the small things you are not paying attention to. You need to take responsibility about fixing them. Taking immediate action to correct problems and maximize damage. You need to understand that you must learn from them. You must pick the lessons, implement change to prevent occurrence. So admitting to mistake is not enough. Fixing them is not enough, but you need to learn from them. Because once you don't learn from an experience, then you've wasted it. You don't have to go through what other people went through if you can learn from their mistakes. I know that it is often said that you need to go through some things so that you can know how. I don't want to go through it. Do you know what it takes to actually go through some things that you could have learned from other people's mistakes? I was telling somebody one day that I don't even know why I'm going through some things right now. I said, God forgive me. I said, one naughty person is out there living life now, and me, I'm going through all of these things now for that person. And I will explain what I mean. The reason why your test of character, your test of accountability should be strong right now is because one day you will hold this mic, or you are amongst your people, you will share a similar story of when you could have defaulted, and that will be the only reason one person will change. The person has listened to all those past fire to refire, nothing changes. But haven't you discovered that people change most times just because they listen to one person? They just say, if David can stand for integrity, I should stand for integrity. nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe ó dẹ̀ lè lẹ́yìn o. It's just one. They've listened to everything. It's just because I can come here to read books to you. You know, I could share stories with you. You could relate. You laughed. Do you understand? It's because I have it in my archive. That's why I can share it with you. If it's not there and I come here telling you things that I've read in a book, you will not be able to relate. And you say, oh, you have come to perspire us. But you can connect because I have all of this experience in one archive. Many of you right here, you have your experiences. Days you could have defaulted. Probably sometimes you have messed up, but you can still correct it. So by the time you stand one day and you're sharing from all of this, they will not see you as a perfect person, but they will see you as someone who has walked through that path before and has gotten better. And that will make one person in that place know that to stand for integrity is still possible. To stand for what is right is still possible. We only need to make sure that our experience does not go like that without learning from it. We need to know that people respect honesty far more than perfection. Vulnerability builds trust. Accountability creates credibility that lasts. My last slide. You must understand that trust is slow to earn. Building credibility requires consistent action over time. Proving yourself through the repeated ethnical choices. It's just like a guy who loves a lady. How you prove to her is not you are doing on and off. Today you're talking to her, you are asking her, babe, how was your day? Have you eaten? How are you doing? Probably the next day you send her gifts. You take her out to see movies. You do that consistently. Even though it may not work out eventually, but it is what it is. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that you are being consistent with what you need to do. Number two, you need to understand that trust is easy to lose. A single poor decision can unravel years of reputation building in an instant. I think there's a Yoruba word that says, "Àṣegbé kan ò sí, àṣepamọ́ ló wà." So you think that what you've done, nobody can unravel it. That's a big lie. Oh. You know, sometimes, even when I'm alone, I try to reflect, because reflection actually also helps you in whatever industry you are in. To actually think back on some poor choices you've made, then correct it intentionally. Let me tell you something. If you do not reflect on some poor decisions you've made, people can use it against you, and it will be so hurtful to you. But when you reflect so much on that thing and make the right decision, it will not matter again. It won't. So you need to understand that a single poor decision can even end people's career. Just one. And you hear people say things like, "Bó ṣe máa ń ṣe nìyẹn," and they just say you do that thing once. Oh. So, the third point I have here, it is hard to regain. It is hard to regain. I tell my realtors all the time that people are not buying land because your land is special. They are buying the land because they like you. Because people buy from the people they know, people they like, and the people they trust. The reason some people will do business with you is because they know you. And how did they know you? Somebody recommended your services. They will know you. When they know you, probably when you send them "good morning, sir," it can take them a while to respond. When they like you, it is through conversation. They've trusted you with something, and you do that thing well. They will now trust you. The moment they trust you, that's the end. There are some people that when they know you, you can only meet with them outside their gate. When they like you, they will take you into their compound. When they trust you, they will take you into their home. They've trusted you. When such people trust you and you mess up, it's always hard though to regain. We need to understand that in public service and professional life, your reputation precedes you. It opens doors or closes them. It builds opportunity or destroys them. Tell him you are from me will beat your CV hands down every day. Tell him you are from me will beat your CV hands down anytime. There are some people in this country, in this Lagos, Nigeria, that when you mention their father's name, you will enter anywhere. If our parents did not do something for us that we can boast of today, what will our own children say about us? Names are powerful.